What are the consequences of the fact that there's no shipping, no ships coming in to the biggest port on the West Coast? The port in LA is reporting that there are no ships with shipping containers. The port is basically empty. And the same thing has happened in Seattle. And this happened pretty quickly, right? The tariffs came in and people are not ordering anything, and people who have ordered things have canceled their orders. And the implications for this are mainly for the American economy right now. China has lots of flexibility to be able to handle this. They can give grants to companies and things like that because they are running their economy very differently, and they've also don't have the same sort of debt load that the Americans are facing. But the implications for this are just catastrophic for the U.S. I mean, the first one that we can see right away is for truckers. There are reports that the truckers, the level of demand right now is the same as for Thanksgiving, U.S. Thanksgiving and Christmas Day, which is the lowest of the year, and that is every day. Every day. So you're going to see truckers laid off, you're going to see port workers laid off, and the cascading effect, obviously, through that local economy will happen fairly quickly because those people are not going to have the money to be able to spend, and it's going to affect the real estate in those places as well. But think about the stores and the companies that need components to manufacture things. There's all sorts of things that are manufactured in the U.S. using components that come from overseas. And then people who need tools. Most of the tools are manufactured in the States, in China. You need those tools. You need them to be relatively inexpensive so you can run your business. And so the cascading effect of this will be, of course, a decline in the economy. And you probably see some readjustment in certain prices because there'll be very little competition for it. So, there's all of these cancellations of meat orders going to China, which is going to affect the price of beef and pork, and all of those things are going to drop for Americans. And that's wonderful for Americans, except it's going to put a lot of farmers out of business because they're already selling at very low margins to start with. So you'll see some economic decline, which will in some sectors lead to deflationary pressures. But for the most part, you're just going to see a economy slipping into failure mode, and the worst recession ever, because it's not just some sort of over exuberance or something like that in some sector or another. It's actually just pulling the fundamentals out of the economy and throwing it into collapse. And this is just the start. I made a TikTok a few weeks ago saying, get prepared. In a couple of weeks, you're going to start seeing shortages of things on store shelves. And when there's no ships coming from China, you're going to see shortages of things on store shelves happening really quickly now because they rely on very tight schedules for things. It's really computers are making the orders. When something is sold in a store, an order goes to the head office and it automatically goes to the supplier in China. And when they cut that off a few weeks back, when the tariffs were first imposed, that was the end of those replacement orders coming in for things that are on the store shelves. So things that you need that are like hard goods manufactured in China, and that's most of what you need. If you're in the U.S., you should be going and buying it now. Of course, in Canada, this isn't affecting us at all because we're not putting any weird tariffs on things coming from China. But when you see a harbor that has no ships and a busy port like L.A. and Seattle with nothing on the dock, I can tell you that's worse than anything we experienced in the pandemic, and it's completely self-inflicted.